Okay, main bearings are in the saddles. Back in the saddle again. Alright, so the thrust bearings go in here, but they won't go in until after I drop the crank in. Then I'll sneak them in there. Otherwise they'll just fall out on me. So, next is the crank. Alright, crank is in place. Main bolts are torqued. It says torque to 40 according to it's an 89 Geo Metro service manual. Always get the service manual. The Haynes I don't really have a problem with. I've looked through the Haynes manuals, they're not bad. It's good for a quick reference. You gotta be careful, you can catch some error, printing errors. Make sure the decimal is in the right place on some of the measurements. I've noticed most of the errors are in there, but I've even found some errors in the service manual. Some of the I'll show you. Here's one, for example. Yeah, talking about bearing clearances. It's saying standards at 20 thousandths or 20 thousandths of a millimeter to 40 thousandths of a millimeter. And it says 0.00008 to 0.0015. That got one too many zeros in there. You can see it's supposed to only be about half of that, like this is half of that. So the 15 10,000ths is correct, but the 8 10. Hang on a second. 8 same 10,000, because you got tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000. It's 100,000ths. It is 100,000. And yeah, it's supposed to be 8 10,000ths to 15 10,000ths. Too many zeros. Like I said, you gotta watch. Even with the ones they use at the dealership, you gotta be careful. Second guess, you know. Do your research. If something don't look right, double check somewhere else. Get a cross reference. It never hurts. Oh, by the way, I didn't use plastic gauge or nothing on the main bearings. I just threw them back in there. You know, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. They came out of there, they went back in. They looked fine. Nothing was knocking or banging. So, I mean, for me, it's good enough. I mean, if I was building this engine for somebody else, it might be different. But this is my engine. That's the way I want it. So, now once we get this engine in there and we started it for the first time, Alright, so I got the main caps in place, the rod caps in place, the pistons are in. Yeah, just use a little, it's not a little one, but that's the old-fashioned style ring compressor. Works on pretty much most sizes. It's an old Craftsman I've had since '95. They're good tools. They work. I lost the, there used to be a little L-shaped key that goes in there. If you lose that, then you can use, just use a 1/4-inch extension. This time I used a 1/4-inch breaker bar. How many of you got one of these? Okay, got the rear main seal in place. Gasket on it and the seal. Got the oil pump in place. Got a brown rubber seal. Use the gray RTV that come from the factory with the orange on it, or the red. Silicone. You'll see some gasket sets for these engines will come with this big old quart gasket or whatever. That's not what they use. I mean, the older models, the 89 through 94, if you want to put a gasket on it, you can, but really the best way to seal one of these up is with silicone. The later models, they say if you try to use a gasket on the oil pan, it'll throw the crank sensor off. It won't pick up. So keep that in mind. All three of these Geo engines, I've used this gray RTV sealer. It comes with the gasket set that I buy. It's cheap, brand, whatever, probably made in China. I don't know. Wherever cheap stuff is made. Let's see, these are some of the gaskets. It came with this gasket set, but it's some no-name $20 eBay gasket set. They're fine. They got this head gasket. It's like an evergreen style head gasket. And I never had any problems with those, especially if you use this little trick that I use on head gaskets. That is the copper spray gas. I spray coat all that on the head gasket, coat of this, and it seals up all the little cracks and pores and stuff in the metal. It's really good, and it just seals everything up nice and pretty. But yeah, I had to take it off the engine stand to clean off that gasket surface for the rear main seal. And I thought, well, it's already off there. It really doesn't need to go back on the stand, so I went ahead and put the oil pump on it. Glued the oil pan back on. I'm debating whether I should go ahead and put the water pump on it now or wait till it's back in the engine, or back in the car, I mean. It's the less weight I have to carry the wrestler back into the car. We lifted this thing out by hand, me and my stepfather, because I don't have a crane, cherry picker, or whatever you call them. And it's just easier. That's where we're at. So, short block is complete.